Portions of America First are brought to you in part by Salem Now and Church People.
How are you doing with 2021? For me, Holy Week has really snuck up on me. Do you realize it's Holy Week? How did that happen? Sheer insanity. But here's the good news. I hope you're going to confession this week. It's important. But I've got something to watch tonight. And maybe again this week. So excited, so impressed that the legendary team from Lightworkers Media, one of whom we have with us on the line, have got Discovery Plus to release and air right now along with MGM. Yes, the MGM, a new movie called Resurrection. Roma Downey, are you with us?
Sebastian, yes, I am. Hello.
Hello, welcome. I think this is the first time we've had you on this show. Perfect timing. Let me first begin by saying I'm impressed in this age of secular insanity that you've managed to get something called Resurrection on a channel, Discovery Plus, which describes itself as the definitive non-fiction channel. That's a big deal, isn't it, Roma?
I know. Hey, that's all God, let me tell you. Yeah, we're so excited, that the film is out and up and available to families in their own homes from the safety and comfort of their own homes to watch a story about the resurrected Lord at such a time as this. It is Holy Week, as you mentioned. It's Easter this weekend. I don't know how it came by so quickly, but Here it is. And in a season, I think, when we're hungrier for hope than we've ever been because of the challenging year that we've all come through, I think we're all ready for a kind of a resurrection in our own lives, right? As we step back out into the world again, hopefully we can get back out as the vaccines start to roll out. But Discovery Plus stepped up. Good for them, right?
Very impressed. I'm sure it wasn't just their credit, but yours as well. We're talking to Roma Downey. Follow her on Twitter, Real Roma Downey, to discuss their brand new movie available now. It's called Resurrection on Discovery Plus. Talk to us, if you will. We'll talk about the movie in a second. We've got enough time. But first things first, explain as an insider how the China virus has changed the lives of everybody in the filmmaking industry, you included.
Oh, gosh. Well, it has, of course. It has impacted every industry, hasn't it? And, I think we're finally starting to see sets reopen, different safety protocols in place. But, certainly prior to Christmas, there wasn't too much going on. Theaters are still not open, so the rollout for many films has been, held up, really. We are the studio of James Bond, and I think it's been pushed a few times for that big global opening. So, but, I think in everything, if you choose to look and find it, there is beauty in the ashes, maybe. And while certainly we wish the pandemic had not happened, and we regret the tremendous loss of life and anxiety created on a global level, I think that it has maybe made us all re-examine our lives, what's important in our lives, who's important in our lives, and, from that sort of place of reprioritizing, we find gratitude, and gratitude, I believe, is the key.
Yeah, not enough gratitude, that's for sure. And it is a time of reflection, not just Holy Week, but the last 12 months and what it has done to our faith communities, especially the inadequate response of many of our faith community leaders. Roma, please share with us more about this movie. I'm a child of Zeffirelli's, so for me, the Jesus of Nazareth by Zeffirelli was seminal.
I am too, yeah. I have very fond memories.
I do too. Robert Powell, by the way, if you hadn't noticed it, Robert Powell, who for 3.5 hours in that mega movie doesn't blink once. He wanted to communicate something ethereal.
Listen, but also, if you had those blue eyes,
yes,
you would be closing them. You know.
I know, but can you imagine being there for 9 months and not blinking your eyes once? That was quite something. Roma, what is different?
Miracle. It was a miracle that he didn't do that.
Tell us something about resurrection.
We wanted to tell the story. The story hasn't really been told. Like a lot of stories and movies made that teach about the ministry of Jesus leading into the crucifixion. And then usually they have a little bit about the resurrection at the end. We chose to tell this movie from the beginning. It's the crucifixion. And then it goes into those few days after Jesus' death, the grief, the loss, the loneliness, the fear that the disciples must have been feeling. And we tell the story of resurrection through the disciples' point of view. And we tell it in a way, I think, that we see their humanity, that allows us to relate to them. And, it's a very powerful story told in a gripping way, because of the danger of that time in that first century world. The Roman rule was so oppressive and cruel, and we see the Pontius Pilate leading with an iron fist, and and how they all come together. Jesus said he would come back. He said he was the Son of God. They wait, and of course he does come back, and he is the Son of God, and it's just such a triumphant, amazing story. We tell it right through to Pentecost. We see them now ready to go out and preach the gospel to the world. And in the final stages of the movie, I don't think there's any spoiler alert here. Everybody knows the story, but we remind our audience, we take them from the first century and what was a handful of believers into the 21st century, and reminding them that now we are over 2.2 billion believers on the planet, and that we belong to each other.
We've got a couple of minutes left with Roma Downey. She is just releasing this week. It's called Resurrection. Discovery Plus is carrying it along with MGM. Roma, why is it? You're so right. All through the years, most films stop at the crucifixion or show the empty tomb. Why have they not covered this story? Have they been too afraid?
Well, I think that, listen, if you're going to do a movie about Jesus, Jesus is your star and you want him in the movie. We made a beautiful movie a couple of years ago called Son of God.
Yes.
That really, that dealt with those, the 3 years of Jesus' mission. But I think that this, taking us into the book of Acts, telling us this story, I think it's just very powerful. And at this time, because we see the confusion of these disciples after their leader is so brutally murdered, and the uncertainty of what to do next. And I think that there's just so many places we can relate. Like a year ago, we were all locked into our homes. We were disconnected from our friends and family. It's as if we were almost in our own tombs, and we're all now longing for that resurrection. So my husband, Mark, and I, who produced this together, we just felt so strongly that this was the perfect time, like this Easter more than other Easters.
It is. It is.
We just need to be reminded of this story.
Absolutely perfect timing. They brought you the Bible on the History Channel. Now they've brought you Resurrection, Disney Plus. I'm going to watch it tonight. That's how excited I am. Discovery Plus. I recommend you do so too. God bless. Thank you. This is America First. You're simply going about your life, running errands, picking up the kids, getting gas, or attending church. In a split second, a normal day turns into the worst day of your life. And while a self-defense incident may only take seconds, the legal fallout can last years. That's why I'm proud to tell you about U.S. Law Shield. They relentlessly protect law-abiding citizens every single day. For just $10.95 per month, you'll have immediate 24/7, 365 access to an attorney-answered emergency hotline and won't pay a penny in attorney's fees. Members also have direct access to attorneys for state-specific guidelines on firearm and self-defense law. Now, U.S. Law Shield is not a legal firm and is underwritten by third-party insurers in many states. State law and insurance regulations apply. So please see the website for the applicable underwriting company and terms of coverage. Call 833-4-GUN-LAW. That's 833, the number 4, GUN-LAW. Or just go to uslawshield.com/America for a very special radio offer. You'll feel better having U.S. Law Shield on your side. That number, 833-4-GUN-LAW, or just go to uslawshield.com/America.